Okay, so we've already established for any type of collisions, you need a door marked with a trigger, rigid body, for that collision to activate. We created our script, it's attached to the door, and the door reads that the player is interacting with the door. Now, what we need to do is get this working with all of our variables that are in our player. So we have all of this here, has key 1, has paper 1, paper 2, paper 3, has wallet, and we already have this in here. So what we're going to do is this. So if we have the player, what we need to do is be able to get this information from this script on that object and read it in here. This is how we're going to do that. So if other dot game object dot get component. The component that we're going to get is a script component, which is this class here, my FPS script. And then we're going to get our public variables here. A public variable means it's any variable that can be read by another class. If it's private, it can only be read by what's inside of that script. In this case, we're going to do has key 1, and that's equal to true. Oops. And then we go from there. So if we have this, and let's do this, let's actually do a test. And I'm going to comment out this. Player has key 1. And we're going to build. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm just going to, I have an object here already. If I can navigate. And we're going to name this same thing as this. I haven't put these in here. Oops, here. And these are the tags that I want. So let's name this key 1. I'm going to tag it in here. And this object here, I'm going to switch this tag key 1. It's already a trigger. And we're going to attempt to get it. Let's turn on our gizmos. And we look at the player, it goes away, and we should see on our script has key 1. We're going to go back to the door, and then the door recognizes we have key 1. So what we're doing is, if these bools are all checked, then the door is going to, that trigger in the door is going to send us to our win screen. Does that make sense? Alright, so let's do some more. Now, if we have key 1, what we can do is put this into one conditional statement, because you got to have all this stuff to make the door activate. So we're going to use some AND statements. So essentially, before I move too far forward, what we're doing here with this script is I'm going to diagram it out for you with this, how we're getting this component. So we have the other is looking for the collider of the game object that collided with the door. Then what we're doing is we're getting the game object component. Game object component. Then the script component, and then from there we're getting our public boolean has key. And that is what this one line of code is doing, and we're going to do it for the rest of them. And now what we're going to do is use and. I'm going to drop down. We need another and. So we have key 1 has P1. I'm just going to copy this. I don't have to type it all out again. I'm going to hit space, drop down. P2. And we need and. P3. And has wallet. So if all of these are true, we're going to change this here to you win the game. Now, I'm just going to, since these are all public, which means I can read them here in the inspector, I'm just going to turn them all on and see if this works. You win the game. So I know it works. Now what I want to do is do something a little bit more, and that is I want to go in here and I want to do kind of a full test. So what I'm going to do is put in these other tags. So add tag, P1, P2, P3, and then wallet. And then what I'm going to do is take this cube, I'm going to duplicate it, so this has key 1, that's key 1, P1, paper 1, paper 2, paper 3, has wallet. And what we're going to do is we're going to do a full test without going in the inspector and turning these on. And the other thing I need to do is, because I'm missing my scripts on my canvas, I'm just going to delete that, delete the event system, and I'm just going to add in a new one. So UI image, that's going to add all that stuff in there. And let's add in our reticle and change the scale 0.15, 0.15, just so I can see everything working, and then its position is already zeroed out. Alright, I'm going to make this full screen. I'm going to play it. And then it should read, we win the game. And then that's going to take us to our win screen. Okay? Do you have any questions about that?